right next to the Coliseum for the 60th annual Dixie National Rodeo. You got to like those big round numbers. And we have here with us, we're starting as we broadcast from here today with one of my favorite people to have on the air, Mike McCormick. He's the president of the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation. It's a big day for you guys, too, isn't it, Mike?
Oh, it is. It's our day that we get to share the spotlight and celebrate what all of our farm kids have done this past year. They're just walking down the hall with smiles as big as Texas on their faces. It's a great day, one of my favorite days of the year.
Well, you know, I watch as I look around, and I see every time I'm here, I see exactly what you're talking about. There's so much pride. But the thing that really strikes me is you can tell that it's earned pride. They've put a lot of work into being proud to be here today.
These kids are being taught the right way. They know how to get up in the morning before school and take care of their animals. They come home in the afternoons with a list of chores to do to work with them to make sure that they have a chance to make it all the way through to here, which is the top of the top. It's the best of the best, and that's what they're all shooting for, and they learn a lot of valuable lessons about life along the way.
Well, and they learn a lot of lessons here, too, because this is not the award ceremony of champions. It is the sale of champions. So now they get a definite lesson in the tangible results of hard work. They see what it brings you.
And we're a proud participant of this program because all of this money goes to their scholarships. Farm Bureau is in all 82 counties of the state, so we've got offices that are pulling for a lot of their kids and wanting us to help them with scholarships today. So we'll be in there celebrating their achievements and being a big part of this today.
Let me guess. You've gotten calls from all 82 of those going, hey, keep an eye on so-and-so.
We probably have gotten calls from most of them, that's true. And we can't do all of them. We do the best we can do. And that's the good thing about the Sale of Champions is we have a committee and we meet beforehand to make sure that everyone's covered and that we've got somebody in a bidders group that's going to come in and help reward these kids for this tremendous amount of hard work they put through.
Now, how much is raised in this, going to scholarships, as you said, each year, just roughly? I know you don't know the number off the top of your head.
It's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I should know that number. I think we break a record just about every year, getting close to $500,000, I think.
Wow. That's a lot of money that's going to help these kids moving forward in the future. If I learn one thing every time I'm here, it's this. I need a new hat because I look around and everybody is so sharp in here.
Well, it's kind of cool to be a farm kid right now, especially on this side of things. So they're always representing us well.
Well, you know, this is an event that has a lot of meaning beyond what it means to the kids as far as they know, as far as they think about it. Because for a lot of them, this is their prom every year.
That is true.
But it is teaching those lessons that we were talking about. And I think it's so great that the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation is involved in this because this, to me, 60 years, this exemplifies a lesson we've got to get back to, which is you concentrate on the basics and most of the rest of the stuff sorts itself out.
You start working with kids at a young age and teaching them work ethic, and they keep that the rest of their lives. I think you learn something like that early along the way. You can't wait till they are out of high school into college and expect them to have the work ethic that's going to make them successful in life. So this is something that they can do to learn all those skills and be competitive with it among their peers. And I think you will see a lot of the people here today as leaders in their communities, leaders in our state, maybe even leaders nationally before this is over with. This is the cream of the crop.
Well, and that's the other thing that I think sometimes falls by the wayside. We talk about it, but I still think some people don't have the full realization of just how big the Dixie National Rodeo in general is. It's one of the top events in the country every year.
And we are intent on even making it even bigger. So we're always looking for other people's bring in. We're looking for different kids that we can mentor to bring into the program. So I think we've got a long history, but a bright future.
Speaking of bright futures, the legislature's in session. How you feeling right now? How's your mood?
Well, we made it past committee deadlines on Tuesday, and we survived it. We've got a few bills that we're tracking and working on hard, and our legislature, I couldn't be more complimentary of them. From our standpoint, they're always so helpful with farm issues, and they get it, and they understand it. So we're in pretty good shape up there. It's a few things that we've got to work on to try to get to the other side, but it's a long session. We've got a long way to go, but right now I think everybody's still in good shape.
So far, so good. All we can do is hope that the good things go through and the bad things don't, right?
I see it.
And
we do a lot of killing bad bills behind the scenes, and that may go on more than people know, and things that are well-intended may come out with some unintended consequences, and you got to point that out and say, understand, but this is how it's going to impact us over here. So sometimes the most important work you can do is talk somebody into maybe letting one of their bills die.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think you put that perfectly. It's not that anyone has ill intentions or trying to do something bad or evil. There's just an aspect they might not be aware of or hadn't thought of that you have to bring to their attention.
That's exactly right. It's the unintended consequences that you got to look at to see how it stretches across everyone whenever it's implemented. And sometimes it's a situation where we can just take it back to committee and work on it a little more, and sometimes we have to wait till next year, or sometimes we just can't be for it altogether. So it's a process, and the legislators are very aware of it, and they know how to deal with it and do a great job with it. We've got, again, a lot of friends on the Senate and House side up there working for us.
Well, now you've got no one to hold them, no one to fold them going through my mind, because that's basically the process, isn't it?
That's the process, and they all understand, and they're good at working their bills with their counterparts, but they're also always willing to work with Farm Bureau on things that have impact to us.
Well, let me ask you this. We talked about this very briefly on the air, and we're not going to we don't have a ton of time, but just very quickly, we could see some impacts in the near future from things going on in Washington right now, couldn't we?
Well, farm community's pretty concerned about the tariffs. Right now, this week, it looks like everything went okay. We pushed off the conversations that we were having with Mexico and Canada for another month, and the commodity markets didn't take a big spike one way or the other during those conversations, but that will have a big impact, and just the reorganization and relearning all of the people that we deal with on the federal level at those top positions. We're up there pretty regular. I'll have somebody there this week, next week, and then I'll be there the next week going through the process of making sure we know the right people in the right places. So when our farmers have an issue, we have a seat at the table that we can go in and talk to them about trying to get something done.
Would you think it would be fair to say that a lot of what the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation does is kind of behind the scenes work?
Yeah, I hear people all the time tell me we didn't know Farm Bureau did that, and I think that's probably the best way to do that, is just try to stay behind the scenes and work with our delegation and the people that we work with through the agencies to address small concerns or big concerns. And again, even in Washington, D.C., I think ag issues is the last thing up there that can be worked on in a bipartisan manner. We probably don't agree on all issues with either side, so they both come to the table generally on ag issues and work with us. Farm bill's got to be a top priority coming up. We're way behind. It's way outdated. It's not working. We had to get some ad hoc disaster assistance last year because of where we are and how outdated the farm bill is. So that's definitely something we'll have to work bipartisan with, because there won't be enough votes on either side of the aisle to go one way or the other.
Mike McCormick, president of the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation. Tickled to be here, tickled for your help getting us over here, and your help for all of these kids and all of these families, because it impacts more than just the kid. It impacts the family, too, and helps them move forward. I guess what I'm trying to say is, Mike, good job, just all around in general.
We're just excited to be part of it. There's a lot of great groups in the Sale of Champion that's going to come forward today and reward these kids. Farm Bureau is definitely going to be one of those. again, it's just so many smiles walking around here. Great farm families here, and we love to support them.
I've seen your eyes cutting into the room where they're eating, so we're going to let you go. We will continue live from the Trade Mart at the Sale of Champions on SuperTalk Mississippi right after.